Well, real quick, guys, before we get into the video, just wanted to say if you're part of 56% of people that watch these videos and aren't subscribed, come on now, put a new TCG video out every day, and make sure you go check out JGC Collectibles for all your codes, singles, and some sealed products as well, okay? Welcome guys to the Slow Poke. Well, and look who I've managed to get on again. Not only our TCG current Masters World Champion, but now back-to-back Perth Regionals Champion. Oh my lord, Henry the Slayer, as it were. How are you, my guy?
Great to be here, thanks.
Right, you guys don't know this, but we were talking for about a good 10-15 minutes, and someone forgot to select their mic on OBS, so I have to do it all over again. But that means now, we all know our answers. So, Henry, like, act surprised when I see this question. So, so we all know you've just come back. You've just come off your back-to-back Perth Regionals champion win, I should say, with your super unique take on Mewtwo Soul Burst. Talk us through how you came to this deck idea for this tournament, and sort of any last-minute change or anything like that. Because I know you played it for OCIC as well. So talk us through the run up to Perth. Yeah, that would do.
Sure. I think the deck is a pretty cool story. So I kind of thought, I realized Soul Burst was still in format because Stefan was testing kind of Soul Burst Quagsire, that kind of thing. But I kind of thought, okay, well, we don't know whether people are going to want to go first or second in this new format, and I don't want to be disadvantaged with which position I get start the game with. So I thought, okay, well, if I can build a deck that can use Altered Creation if you go first and win through that way, or Soul Burst if you go second and win through that way. So you're always doing something powerful on your first turn, depending on where you go. And so that worked out really well, but the deck kind of really came together last minute because two key kind of strategies in the deck, well, actually I'd say three, really kind of got put in there at the end. So I thought, how can I beat Mill with this deck? And the way I did that was Venusaur with the Shining Vine, and then even if you lose your energy, you have Chuck Away from Alolan Raticate. So that was the way you beat Mill with Alter Creation. And then the two other most important cards, Xerneas Prism to beat ADP. I was looking through a pile of Bolt cards and I found a Xerneas Prism and I looked at it and I had a eureka moment. And that was it. And then Blastoise GX was actually a proxy.
Oh wow, okay. We'll get onto that later. I love it. Okay, right, so talk us through your sort of ADP sort of match, because I know everyone's question, everyone's lips is this the best Mewtwo variant now? How does it deal with ADP? And I think you went through a fair few in your Perth victory. So talk us through how that matchup sort of tends to go.
So if you go first, you'll use Alter Creation and then either knock their ADP out with Flygon plus Zigzagoon, or you'll use your Xerneas Prism. If you have to use Xerneas Prism, they'll knock your Xerneas out, and you might think, okay, you have no energy, how do you win? You use Venusaur's ability to bring up a Jirachi, and then you attack with a Mewtwo with no energy using Chuck Away with Raticate, which will do 110 and knock out a Jirachi for 2 prizes.
And then just for people who doesn't know, I think Chuck Away is what? So it's a free energy attack. Is it discard 2 cards from hand, 40 for each item?
Yeah, 40 for each card you discard from hand. Doesn't have to be an item.
Okay, right.
So it's so good too because you can discard more attackers from your hand as well if you ever need to.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, and just a no energy attack is just so strong as well. So
yeah.
And then if you go second against ADP, you just Soul Burst and attack with Xerneas, attack a few more times, and it'll be alright.
That's crazy. Love it. Absolutely love it. So talk us through your top cut games in Perth then. Because obviously you took the whole thing home. So I want to know exactly how this went down.
So as is the tradition with Perth and even Australian regionals, once you get to top 8, you'll be playing against probably the rest of the good players in Australia. So I played against Clifton Go, Jordan Palmer, and Christian Hasbani. They're all playing ADP. Clifton and Christian were playing Cryogonal, so they tried to go for a strategy where they only attacked with Zacian, no ADP, and used Cryogonal to kind of stall things active or buy time. Unfortunately, the strategy doesn't really work. If they only go Zacian, you easily are able to knock them out using Outrage and just other attacks, and you just trade favorably. And as long as they don't open a bad tag team to be stuck active with Cryogonal, it's fine. And also with Malolana and Cynthia Caitlin, that kind of got it out of the active. And since they played Big Charm, not Frying Pan, I could Soul Burst to the Reshizard itself, and then it knocked them out with Weakness with Flare Strike.
Yeah, that'd be quite scary since they're not playing Pan. Did you see you Soul Burst onto that? They're like, oh, okay.
It was it was one of those things. I think I opened either Mewtwo or Dedenne or something, and then I Soul Bursted to Reshizard. And once that happened, I think there's pretty much no way to lose the game because you don't have to play cards from your hand.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
announce your attacks and you're done.
It's one of them. His heart just sank. They're like, oh, okay. Right. So this is normally the part of the interview where I'll be like, if you're looking to play this deck moving forward. Now, obviously, we're a bit of a unique time here at 2020, where all events are sort of getting called off. I don't know what it's like over there, but over here, like we had EUIC lined up. That's probably going to go. We had Liverpool lined up. That's probably going to go as well. Let's just pretend that EUIC is all well and good, and you're attending, Henry. Would you be playing this for that?
I think it'd really depend. This deck had a lot of advantage based on not being known, and kind of it has very little space in it, so it could really craft a kind of perfect strategy.
Yes.
And now that people know that it exists, you can play things. I think if people play Shadowbox Mimikyu, that's fine. You just put Stealthy Hood in, like I had at the IC, and that's just not. Then it becomes not an issue. But it really depends, kind of, to see how much it becomes prevalent in the meta as well, because it's a deck that really punishes mistakes. You Soul Burst once, you accelerate your energy once, and you're done. So you have to make every decision correctly.
Yeah, I can imagine because when I saw you won the regional, I was like, oh, let's see the spice first. So I looked at that list and I thought I should probably deck profile whatever he does, right? Well, whatever the list was, and I looked at it and I was like, wait, there's no way I can play this. I don't know when I'm meant to be using Raticate or Flygon or Vileplume. So I was like, I'll just get Henry on instead, and he can tell us what to do.
I think it's at the IC. Some of the Limitless guys had a bet with each other. One of them went up to, I think, Fabian and said Henry's playing a Flygon GX in his deck, and the other's like, no, if he's playing a Flygon, we'll buy dinner. And then I came over and I'm like, yeah.
Man's like, there it is. Look, it's full art one, everything. Oh, love that. So actually, that's actually one thing I want to go a little bit detailed. How did you pick up all these attackers? Like, how did you think? Oh, this would be really good. Like, because I saw my mate. He's been ever since Stefan did an article on Poker Beach. He's been playing it quite a lot, and he always sends me screenshots and screen grabs and playing TCG. And I saw him use the Vileplume attack. I was like, Vileplume, that's a little 2 for 180. That's quite cool. How did you sort of find all these, as it were?
It's actually kind of simple. So I went to TCGO, I clicked filters Pokemon GX in the standard format and just had a read for a while. And I kind of I had those 2 plans, right? So I thought, okay, I had this concept, the ADP going first and the Soul Burst going second.
Yep.
How do I make this work? And so I kind of just had to figure out which attackers would be best for each matchup and that kind of strategy and really work it out. So I had a bunch of different attackers throughout the time, but these are the ones we settled on in the end. It just kind of worked out.
That's pretty cool. It sounds like the sort of same thing that all us ADP players did when we started thinking about Obstacle. We're like, right, basic, maybe stage 1, metal. What can we put into to get around that? Okay. So with that being said, were there any sort of GXs that were left on the cutting room floor? To be fair, were there any that were being used but then didn't quite end up making the cut?
I think very early on I had Guardian in the deck, because being able to move the energy around is kind of nice in theory.
Yeah.
But the deck it's almost an anti-meta deck in some ways because it doesn't almost have like a strong strategy, like it does, but you want to do an exact game plan against each matchup. And so having those kind of powerful but I guess non-specific attacks aren't really that beneficial. And also, it's the same kind of concept with Quagsire. So the reason that I didn't play Quagsire is that if you craft your game plan perfectly, you don't need to move your energy. There's no need. The only time that energy transfer kind of abilities were important were with healing, so Acerola or a Max Potion. And since you don't really have that, I found no need. And I thought I can make my deck more consistent by not needing to play Quagsire.
There we go. That was a question that came up earlier, so that makes sense. So I guess and it's a stage 1 as well. Could be potentially hard to set up. So, there was something else I was going to say. What was it? Okay, yeah. So you mentioned it's sort of an anti-meta deck in the sense that every game plan's got its linearity. Are there any decks that this just can't sort of deal with?
It's 3 worst matchups of the 3 welder decks.
I was about to say Firebox don't seem too great in my head, but yeah, carry on.
Firebox isn't the worst. It's definitely manageable.
Okay.
I lost to it at the IC against Gustavo, but it's Gustavo, so he's going to play the matchup perfectly.
Yeah.
I think if they falter and don't know exactly what to do, it's very, very winnable. So I'd say 50-50. because now that the Zigzagoon's in the deck, it lets you knock out kind of Victini and Heatran with Vileplume,
Hmm.
which is good. But that's definitely, I guess, an iffy matchup. And then Baby Blacephalon and Mewtwo Welder are both pretty rough. There's a line, Baby Blacephalon, if they don't knock you out after Alter Creation, you win the game because you can use Xerneas and
Yep.
Raticate. But against Mewtwo Welder, it's very, very rough. They have Tag Purge, they have Weakness Guard energy, they
Oh
can
yeah.
one-shot you. Your energy acceleration is limited. It's quite hard.
Yeah, that's so. Does this deck sort of struggle with anything that can just sort of take big one shots like Welder Mewtwo sort of can, I suppose?
Yeah, it struggles with what I'd call volatility, which I guess Welder kind of is.
Yeah,
So
fair
being able
enough.
to
Yeah.
pull those big combinations off rather than having limitations within the deck, whereas this kind of because this deck is so limited in what it can do, limited. It doesn't bode too well against decks that have that kind of volatility. So.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Love that. Right, so we actually put a little bit of a Q&A up, anyway, before to
Yep.
get you on. We got quite a few questions, so let's whip up some of these. So we got a question from Mitch Nookley. Thank you very much, Mitch. Love that. He says, Henry, I'd like to know how you're able to come up with so many spicy lists. So would I, to be fair. I need some help. Also, he seems to have the momentum of a runaway freight train. This is also true, Henry. You're clearing it off right now. How is he so popular? So, what I want to know is, Henry, is there a process where, like this deck, for example, you felt, well, I want to use a sort of Soul Burst Mewtwo. Talk us through that process of how you've gone from that initial concept into a full regional 60.
Um, well, as I've kind of said, I had this concept, and unlike other decks where you have like you're trying to build a core strategy and make it consistent or powerful,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, I have this concept. How can I make it beat things?
Yes.
And kind of how can I make it good? And doing that, you kind of need to know how the other decks function, their weaknesses, that kind of thing. Be it limitations on energy acceleration or type weakness, prized race, lots of the kind of things like that. Uh, and just that kind of over the time kind of gets things done. Um, and that's kind of typically how I build decks. I'll play a bunch of games on TCGO and see, and then maybe start looking through the card list, see what there is, see what's kind of been undiscovered. Yeah, just kind of go from there.
Okay, do you get much, like, do you play a lot of, like, IRL testing as well, or do you sort of mostly stick to online?
In terms of actual testing with like people or friends, I only do it the week before an event.
Oh, nice.
Otherwise, I'll just play a bunch of TCGO. Not necessarily actively. I might be watching a TV show or just
Yeah.
doing something else. But just any games you can get in is always going to help.
Okay, well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to live on TCG, especially if I have to live at home for 2 weeks. You best believe, guys, I'm going to come out the other end of this quarantine. I'm going to be just as good as Henry. You watch. Oh, dear. Right, let's have a look. Thank you very much, Mitch. Love that. Right, let's have a look. Charlie Downing, good friend of mine. Thank you, Charlie. Says, why is this better than Welder or Mali variants?
Um, I'd say it just has a better ADP matchup. Would be the biggest thing. Obviously, at least going into these tournaments, the surprise factor was one of the big reasons. But even now, I think just its matchups against Zacian and a couple other decks is just so strong, especially against Chinchino Mill as well. That matchup is very good. And just at least being able to beat the BDIF ADP, I guess, at least for me, 22 and 25 games, I'd say that that's a pretty good factor to have. And also, at least compared to Mali Mewtwo, I would say the consistency is much better as well.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a big reason for me.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Mali Mewtwo. I've just realized, you said that there. Was it 22 out of 25, you said?
Yeah.
That's going to be the thumbnail right there. 22 out of 25 ADP Slayer. Henry Brand. That's going to be the thumbnail I'm going to write down so I don't forget. Thank you very much, Charlie, for your question. I've never been a fan of Mali Mewtwo anyway. Little rubbish. List. This made me laugh. I couldn't tell if you were just being a generic Verbank troll, but someone did comment your Twitter list, so thank you very much for that. Didn't even need to answer that myself. Kieran Cottrell. Okay, here's the elephant in the room then. So, what is the use for each GX Pokemon specifically / matchup wise? Also, what other GX Pokemon have you tested in this style of Mewtwo? So we got touched on the second bit a little bit there with Guardian. So right now, I imagine this could take a while. So we'll sort of just go. I wouldn't say brief, a little bit of in depth, a kind of. But yeah, let's talk us through these off attackers. I'm going to bring up Limitless now, so we can have a little look.
Yeah. Sure, let me get it up as well. Just a bit of a refresher.
I love that way you get up as well. Oh, here we go. Regional Perth. There we go. Henry Brand. Right, okay, right. So we've got 2 of the Solgaleo. We know what that does. Anyone that doesn't
Yep.
know what Solgaleo does, for 1 metal, you search your to
Mm-hmm.
GX attack, search your deck for 5 energy, attach them where you want. It does say any, so you can attach specials. So that's what we're doing. We're attaching, I assume, let's have a little gander at the bottom. Got your Aurors and the Rainbows and got your units. So all manner of energies coming out there. So we sort of know what that one's about. We know what the ADP is about. Venusaur Sniper, now we touched on this a little bit. Did you ever actually use the attack, or was it just there for the ability?
I've used it before. It's a okay 4 energy attack when you like. I guess it has no drawback, right? And so if
Yeah.
you don't have Reshizard, or you only need to do that much, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Against Spell Tag Malamar, it's actually quite good because you can Soul Burst to the Venusaur Snivy, and then just leave it in the active and keep bringing things up without weakness. So that's pretty good.
Okay, yeah.
But other than that, no, that's not really for the attack. But the ability is so strong.
Yeah, and the ability, guys, is... Does the Venusaur Snivy have to be in the active for the ability to work?
Yes. Yeah.
So, the Venusaur Snivy, if it's in the active, guys, you can attach a grass energy. I'm assuming that works off the Aurora and Rainbows as well. And then you get to switch their bench. So it's like a Lysandre when you attach the active. It's kind of strong.
Yeah.
I played against that
Yeah,
online. So you carry
Funny
on.
story against that quickly as well is that at the league challenge at the IC, I was playing to try and get stipend, and Pedro comes up to me and he says, "Oh, it doesn't work with rainbow energy. Rainbow counts as colorless." And I'm like, "You're kidding me? Hello? No, you're no." And then he comes back 20 minutes later. He's like, "Oh, okay, I checked. It does." And I'm like, "Yeah."
About to say, could you
Had
imagine?
me scared. Yeah.
I've actually ran into a lot of Venusaur Snivy online because you know Rillaboom's like the most played deck on TCG for some reason. And I've started running into people using Venusaur Snivy. I'm like, here we go, like go on then, play musical chairs with me. But yeah, 4 for 160, I guess, no drawback, just a straight 160. I'm sure it has its uses. Right, here's the Vileplume. Oh, I love this. I was like, oh, when I saw, because my mate, like I said, has been playtesting this for a while. I saw him use the Vileplume. I was like, oh, 2 for an 8. That's a good old hit. And then with the ADP buff, goes to 210. So yeah, talk us through Vileplume. What's the uses there?
This is, I guess, one of the more kind of just random cards compared to everything else, just like, a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have as nuanced of a use as other things.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that 2 for 180 is probably the most. I think it is actually like the most energy efficient attack in terms of damage.
Yeah.
And so it just gets concluded. And the biggest thing, actually, it does have a specific reason, I guess, is that its attack cost is grass colorless, which means you can have a weak guard energy as part of the cost.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so that will let you knock out like a lot of like the Mewtwo against Mewtwo Malamar. Like if they've used Clear Vision or if they've used anything, you can have a weak guard and 1 energy and then knock them out straight away. Same with kind of, I guess, Latios against Spell Tag Malamar if they're just Clear Visioned. And it's like never a bad attack to have. And it combines well with Reshizard because if they damage you to make you do less damage with Vileplume, you're suddenly doing more damage with Outrage.
Yeah, that's Jesus, yeah. That's something I'd fall into. That is, okay, he's using Vileplume. Let's just dink him a little bit. And he just goes, yeah, Outrage. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah, so just like I said, yeah, it is a good attack in a vacuum. But obviously, being on a stage 2, with no acceleration, this is never going to see play. But yeah, just chuck it in the bin from you two, and all of a sudden, it's a great attack. Now, the Reshizard, we talked about this a little bit against slaying Yazations. Is it any other reason, or just being a full-on beat stick?
It's the best reason in this deck is Outrage. So it's so strong, especially if you have a big charm, and it largely is Zacian, I guess, but it forces them to hit into you, and then you just go Outrage. Like, it's very strong. It was very good against Shadow Box as well, because they'll hit you to try and deny like your ability.
Yeah.
You can attach a hood, or even you could kill the Mimikyu using like Venusaur's ability and a fresh Mewtwo.
Nice,
and suddenly your damaged Mewtwo is now a threat that's doing like 260 or 90 damage for 2 energy. And then of course Flare Strike is a no drawback attack that's just really powerful.
Yeah, I tell you what, that Outrage, I remember when we first saw Reshizard, everyone was like, oh my god, this is Broken Rider. I was like, yeah, but have you talked about Outrage though? That is a sick attack. And like I said, yeah, now with a big charm, that's just, oh dear, oh my lord. Okay, what have we got there? Now the Blastoise, though, I think we touched on this a little bit earlier, but I saw this and I was like, okay, I assume it must be just for some big nuke, because anyone doesn't know, it's a 60 for each energy you shuffle back in, each water I should say. But it seems quite costly. You can't obviously do that too often. So yeah, talk to us about Blastoise.
Blastoise is incredible. It was really one of the last minute additions that made the deck work. And so I was having a lot of issues with the Pikachu Zekrom matchup because
Okay.
if you didn't lock them with Wobbuffet, you knock out the Pika, and then you have no way to knock out the Raichu because you've used Soul Burst, which you have to mostly use in that matchup. And then there's kind of no way to knock them out other than, say, Dragonite, but that doesn't really work. What if they have Big Charm?
Okay.
Too much energy. But Blastoise is really good because this is what the maths is. So you attach your Soul Burst, there's 6 energy. Next turn you attach again, you got 7.
Yep.
You use Flygon. They'll
Okay.
knock your Mewtwo out, you go to 4. You can bring up your Venusaur Snivy because their Raichu will probably be on the bench.
Yep.
You can attach to it, bring up the Raichu, switch into your Mewtwo, and now
Yep.
you have 5 energy in play, which deals 300. And so the fact that the Blastoise takes energy off of the Venusaur means that the energy that you use for the ability isn't dead. It's actually adding to your damage, which is so good.
Yeah.
Having energies just not be dead on your Pokemon is really good. And obviously just being able to spread the energy because it's only 2 cost. So you can put
Yes.
2 here, 2 there, 2 something else. And it also means that they have to deal with the Xerneas because if they don't knock out the Xerneas, there's 180 extra damage for Blastoise.
Wow. So that yeah, we talk about it, that seems pretty checkmate. That's what I never get. But I'll be the Picon player. Okay, I got him here. Like, what's is he gonna do here? And it just Blastoise jacks hit the bin. And you're like, oh, hold on a sec. 6, 12, and then you do the Snivy like 6, 12. Oh no. You're like,
Yeah.
God damn. Okay, so Blastoise. Did you say that was a proxy at one point?
Yeah, it was a proxy. I had it a proxy for Greninja, and then I was thinking about how I could knock out Raichus, and I read it again, and I saw that it didn't say basic, it just said water, and I'm like, oh, that's it, it's going in the deck.
That's it, just straight up. I love it. Oh, hey, I love you, mate. You're bare. What are you? Okay, so we've got the promo Greninja. Is that the Detective Pikachu one?
Yes.
I'm guessing that's just for Shred, right? I imagine.
Yeah, so it's just for Obstagoon and I guess Tag Purge as an extension. I actually used it as its attack a lot for when I couldn't get Vileplume in the discard. Just having a 2 energy attack to knock things out is very good.
Yeah.
But it just makes Obstagoon an auto win because you use Altered Creation and then you just announce Miss Slash 3 times and you one shot Obstagoons.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you one shot him
Yeah.
as well. Jeez.
With 2 prizes as well. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a better. Did you play against many Obstagoons in Perth? Or?
I played 1 Obstagoon at the IC, not at Perth.
Yeah.
But my reasoning, at least going into the IC in this tournament, is that if you play against 1 Obstagoon and you get an auto win out of it, that 1 card in your deck was worth it.
Yeah, no, that's
There's
true.
3 match points.
And that is a proper auto win as well. Like, because I've played mostly ADP, and you think you're taking 2 prizes. That's the only reason this game is still relatively salvageable. Because you can just gust around it. You're just like, right, I'm taking 2 prizes, and I'm just one shotting you. You're like, oh, like what? Like what? Like, oh boy. Now here's one. Henry, I'm gonna love this. Oh, Flygon GX. Okay, I love it. I actually got rodded by this when I was recording. I can't remember what deck I was playing, but I got rodded, so I do know how hard this thing can hit. So yeah, talk to us about Flygon.
It's another Pokemon like Vileplume, which just has absurd damage for its energy cost.
Yeah.
So 80 per energy is just nuts. And it just like, especially after Altered Creation, you're suddenly doing 270.
Yeah, wow, I forgot about
Which is
that.
insane. And with Zigzagoon, you're doing 280, you knock out ADP. It knocks out Pikarom, it knocks out Zacian. With the Zigzagoon, it knocks it out even with a frying pan. So it just has so much damage. It hits so hard, and for, I guess, relatively low energy and low withdrawal. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's and for anyone that doesn't know Flygon, don't blame you. It goes 3 fightings, Desert Hurricane 120. If there's a Stadium card in play, this attack does 120 more than discard a Stadium. So similar to Primal Groudon if anyone's around then. And yeah, that's strong. That's strong because you're not discarding energy. All you got to do is find Stadium. Hopefully you can bounce their Stadium as well, just to really add insult to injury. So yeah, and after that, okay, oh wow, I forgot. Oh my, that is strong. That is a big old slam. That is Jesus. Okay, we've got Indeedee. Yeah, so talk to us about that.
So the attack's really strong. It breaks
Yep.
through Tag Purge.
Yep.
You can one-shot Alolan Raichus if they have a lot of energy on them. Just anything.
Okay.
And also the biggest thing is that you play Rainbow Energy and the damage is really bad. So Indeedee will let you heal off the damage from that.
Okay, yeah.
And it also heal off little random shrine damage and things, especially stopping Shadow Box as well.
Oh yeah, turn off Shadow Box. And then I guess against other Mewtwo's as well, you can use that to slam them as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So against Mewtwo and Malamar, you Soul Burst to the Indeedee so that they can't Tag Purge you.
Yeah, see. There we go. Look, this is, I love it. I love getting all the nuances. And I missed out one there on the GXs. I apologise. And this is arguably the one that everyone wants to know about the most. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Alolan Raticate GX. So yeah, apart from the ADP match, like you said, killing the Jirachis for game, is there any other uses for your Alolan Raticate?
Yeah, there's a lot. Against Mill, obviously you alter creation, and then you just keep Shining Vine, Mewtwo. If they've hit all your energy with Crushing Hammer, you just use Chuck Away for no energy. Any matchup that you alter creation, it's very strong.
Yeah.
And also with Zigzagoon, even without alter creation, you can knock out Jirachis. So.
Yeah, that is. I love it. The more I'm hearing you talk, I really want to try this out now. Like, I really want to play this deck. Like, okay. We talked about Xerneas Prism. Any other uses apart from slamming into ADPs and making them regret their life?
I won a game in top 8 by I had one energy on a Venus Ivy, one on a Mewtwo, and I attached the Venus Ivy, brought up the Dene, then switched into Xerneas, dragged all the energy off.
Yeah,
knockout. I think it wasn't on a Mewtwo, it was on something else. But yeah, so dragged the energy off, knocked it out, all good. Yeah, it's just kind of mainly for ADP, but you can get some uses out of a one prize attacker sometimes.
Yeah, one prize attacker that can take energy and does 190 after GX. Yeah, that's strong to be fair. Yeah, that's a big old hit. And it's got 160 as well. That's not just like a dink it and it's out the way like a baby clown. You're going to have to actually like work for that KO. So yeah, that's good. I love that. Xerneas Prism. We've got the Wob effect. Now, I'm assuming this is going to be the anti-prism one, alright? Okay, what was this targeting? This Wob effect?
This was targeting Pikachu Zekrom only. I guess it has uses against Reshizard, but the main thing that I was finding is that if I went first against Pika and then they full blitzed me turn 1, I would lose. Like, it was very, very difficult to come back from that. Because the deck has very little comeback potential, given how kind of finely tuned the game plans are. And so I thought, okay, we already play Chaotic Swell. If I can just put down Wob, put down Swell, they shouldn't be able to do anything for a while and give me some time.
That's fair, yeah, that's good. Love that. Or cheeky Wob. And then we got the Zigzagoon. I actually think someone this might have been a question. Let me just quickly check. I'm sure it was. Where are you? Where are you, fella, that commented? No, not you. Was you at the bottom one? Sorry, this is a great video here, guys. Nothing but professionalism at the Slowpoke well. There it is. Chris Borum. Thank you so much, Chris, for your question. Why the Zigzagoon? Is it just for the 10 damage? Now, I assume it's going to be yes. So, building on that, was it a specific max fixer in certain matchups, or...?
It helps Flygon reach 280 after Alter Creation, which knocks out ADP. It helps Raticate reach Frying Pan Jirachis. It helps Raticate reach Baby Blacephalon. It helps Raticate reach Jirachi before ADP. It helps reach 190 with Vileplume for Victini, for Heatran. Just a whole lot of things. Actually, it helps reach Zacian with a Frying Pan without using Alter Creation for Flygon.
Okay, so I guess in a lot of decks, I know some ADPs play Zigzagoon. Like I played it for a bit, never really used it. But in this, that Zigzagoon's getting his value there, is he?
Absolutely, yeah.
Headbutt tantrum, love that. Give him the old cheeky headbutt, right? I guess as I talk about the list in general, moving on from there. Everything else seems quite good for research, obviously. One Cynthia Caitlyn, we love that. Good highlight, obviously, when you're playing some of your special energy guys and stuff like WeGuard and Swell. When I lead that. Malolana, this is interesting. Was this fixing maths in certain matchups, or...?
It's largely just for the switch effect, honestly.
Okay.
Having an extra switch that's searchable is really nice. And then it actually counts as, I guess, 2 switch almost when you think about Cynthia Caitlyn.
Yep.
So,
that's fair. Especially if you try and get utility from the Venusaur Snivy as well. I imagine you're just trying to shift that guy back out the active. Yeah, sorry, mate. You've done your work, now back to the bench. 4 Quick Ball, 4 Cherish. That's great. 4 Switch, obviously. 3 Tackle, 1 Great Catcher. 1 Great Catcher. Did you ever miss not having any other Gust, or...?
No, you have Xena Snivy, so mostly it's fine. Just the 1 Great Catcher just adds some volatility to the deck, so...
And I guess with all the attackers you've got and the sea damage you can hit, it doesn't really matter what's in the active, guys. It's going to get nuked anyway. 1 Air Balloon, 1 Big Charm, and 3 Swell. 1 Big Charm. Did you ever wish that could be a second? Like, I'd imagine having a second there could just be quite nice.
Yeah.
But...
Second's really good. Didn't have the space for it. Just kind of went for 1.
Yeah.
You can kind of manage your bench, and 1's enough. Especially when you have to play Stealthy Hood sometimes. The 1's fine.
Oh, yeah, fair. So that's a good point. Anyone that would be looking to take this deck moving forward to any events that Arsenal on, like maybe cups, maybe some random cups or whatever, would you advise them to change the deck?
I think I'd put in a shadow box now that it's on the radar because I think that would be the straight up way people will try and counter it. Uh, that's probably the main change I can think of.
Hold on, me webcam. Let me just give that the old 1-2 again. Is that working now? I can't. Yeah, it is. Love the professionalism at the Slowpoke. Well, we love it, guys. Okay, yeah. So putting in on what would you cut for the hood? Sorry.
Probably depends on your meta, so either
Okay.
cut the Greninja or the Wobbuffet would probably be the easiest two cuts.
Fair enough. And if I had to pick there, I'm probably keeping the Wobbuffet because Picarom's scary. I think you're more likely to run into Picarom than you are good. And instead, I don't know, the UK. I played in one cop here, 3 goons. Like, get out! What is this? 3 goons. Oh my lord! I've never played musical chairs so much in my life, Henry. Let me tell you. Right. So we've gone through most of the off GXs there. Are there any others potentially that, like, let's say, have their uses but never quite made the deck? And I mean, like other sort of jokey / memey ones, or even gimmick ones that you could run, or
I guess if you're really, really worried about Malamar Mewtwo, you can play Zoro Ninja, because that just one-shots their Trevno Iron Gengar Mimikyu. Other than that, I think these ones are probably the best.
Okay. I actually played against a guy online thinking about it, and he was playing like a crazy code Mewtwo version. And he played some of the off attackers you've got here, but he played a Machamp Marshadow. Did you ever consider that? That's got a flat 160 as well.
It's okay. It's okay against Pikachu, but I think the Wob's probably just a better counter. And I think value for off tag call is nice, but I think it's pretty fine as it is.
I just thought I'd drop that in there because that Machamp made me, it pushed, killed me, to be fair. Right, so we got Kieran Koch. Thank you very much for that question. Hope that answers your question. That was a good detail there. Okay, we got my friend Connor Bird coming in next. Thank you very much, Connor, for your question. We might have touched on this already, but he said, was this current form of Mew 3 a response to the other Mew 3 variants not being able to contend with ADP? What was the reasoning for continuing to pursue the archetype rather than hop off and play something else / join ADP? Well, I'm going to answer that little bit of question there for you, Henry, because we're talking to Henry Brown, no matter what world of Mew 2. Don't tell him to hop off at ADP. How dare you? Oh my lord, the cheek. But I guess the first part of the question is rather valid, to be fair. Did you build this with the mind of just targeting ADP, and did you find the other Mewtwo decks couldn't compete with it, or?
I mean, honestly, I was just a little bit giddy with the concept of Soul Burst and Alter Creation. I mean, Alter Creation is broken. Like, it's just such a powerful attack, and then being able to choose 10 different attacks to use after that instead of just Ultimate Ray or Brave Blade seems pretty good to me. I was kind of focused on making that work, and then it just so happened that it beat ADP very well in the end. So, and I think the other variants just Mally Mewtwo lacks consistency. Welder Mewtwo does not beat ADP Zacian if they play Frying Pan. And so it really just kind of went for this. And I also wouldn't really call it the same archetype. I wouldn't even mention it close. So, yeah.
No, that's crazy. I love that. I love that when Connor's there, like, oh, what were the tech? Why do you want? He's like, I just wanted Mewtwo to do bare different attacks, like, you know what I mean? It just so happened it was good as well. Thank you very much, Connor, for your question. Love that. Caleb Rogerson, thank you very much for your question. I think we've kind of gone through this one though now. How does the Perth Mew 3 variant reliably beat ADP? We've definitely talked about that. And which tech GXs were most used? We kind of talked about that as well, to be fair, haven't we, really? Thank you very much, Caleb, for your question. Just make sure you go have a little listen back. Patrick Rumpf asks, do you know why kids love Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
I've never had it. Cinnamon's pretty nice though. So
neither have I, to be fair. But what I did when I saw this, I did want to change it. I'll transition into the next question. What is your favourite cereal, Henry?
Ooh, one we have in Australia. I'm not sure if it's in other countries. Nutrigrain.
No, we have that. That's like a sort of granola-y kind of like thing, right? Granola-y,
like barley kind of thing almost. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we've had that. That's way too healthy for me though. Like, nah, I'm having that. All right, so we have got some real questions in here as well. We've also got some jokey ones. I just want to weave them in. This one did make me laugh. Does Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. Oh, it's from Darren Lee, by the way. Thank you very much, Darren. Does Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. blink or wink?
Ooh, good question. Ooh. Hey, I can build some decks, but I don't think I can answer that question.
There we go. We got him, lads. We got him. I think he has to blink, right? If he was constantly winking, that means he's always like giving it the eye to everyone at work. He's like, hey, like, hey, easy now, Tiger. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna assume he blinks. Thank you very much, Darren. We've talked about this one a little bit, but I'm also gonna dive back in a little bit again. Harry Kane, thank you very much, Harry, says, in what matchups was Blastoise GX's attack useful? So we talked about the sort of Pikarom use. Is there any other sort of like just big clear the way out kind of a matchup where you need it, or?
Yeah, it's good against ADP. Just being able to blow things up is really good. So let's say if they have 2 Frying Pan, you can Zigzagoon through the first one, but then you can't get through the second one, so you just Blastoise through it. It's just never really a bad attack to have as a finisher.
As a finisher, yeah, because that's a high damage cap, guys. Do the maths now. 60 for each energy you put in. That adds up super fast, let me tell you. Especially after a Soul
What's really
Burst,
good
Jesus.
about it as well is that this deck can often play off very few cards from your hand once you set up. And
Okay.
Blastoise is a card that plays off of your board rather than, I guess, you doing anything. So
Yeah, I'm a fan of decks like that. Where you can play off the board. Like you can stamp me all you want, but yeah, my win con's right here. So like, you know what I mean? Marnie, don't bother me with that, Marnie. Oh my lord. Right, here's a question from. Hang on, I have to go down to the next one. Demetrius Eaton, my friend. This is the friend that was playing. I guess Ultimate Mewtwo, I guess it's being called now. A lot on TCGO. Thank you very much, Dimitri, for your question. He says, how come you didn't play the Quagsire build? Now, I touched this a little bit before. Did you play the deck with Quagsire, or was you always like, no, this isn't needed?
I played 2 games with the Quagsire variant and didn't like it initially. I played a few more like afterwards just to make sure that I didn't like it, but just conceptually I didn't like having to ruin your engine to try and play it. So
Yeah.
you have to play Communication, you have to play Evolution Incense, other draw supporters, I guess, less of a reliance on Dedenne.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was, I think, saying, I don't really see the point of playing Energy Transfer unless you're using it to use Max Potion or Acerola for healing. Whereas like now, the way I thought is that if I can build the deck with proper game plans and play properly,
Yeah.
I don't need to move my energy. I can just put it in one spot. Shouldn't need to move it from then on. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I love that. Just so basically, what you're saying, Dimitri, is don't need it, get good, bro. Love that. Well, that's pretty much all the questions from there. So I've got a little bit of questions for myself now because I want to get to know Henry from outside Pokemon. We always know Henry is back-to-back Perth champion, back-to-back breaker of Mewtwo, all that good stuff, and our world champion also. So I want to know a little bit. What does Henry do outside Pokemon? Does Henry have any other any hobbies or pastimes or?
at the moment for me, it's mainly Pokemon. So I think it maybe briefly touched on this on Twitter when I didn't go to a tournament, but I've had some health struggles over the past few years, and just recently started to get a little bit better. I've been able to go to tournaments, and this is kind of what I'm able to do at the moment, while I guess just kind of ride it over until I start studying again. But yeah, just at the moment, it's just a whole lot of Pokemon.
That's good, man. That's good. Love that. Love to hear it. So, how's life been sort of since World? Because this is one thing I'm really interested in. So since Worlds, obviously everyone knows you now. Like everyone's like Henry. What's like? I assume it's changed a lot. Talk to us a little bit of what it's been like post winning Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, for the first few days, it didn't really sink in.
Yeah.
But I guess just kind of the fame kind of gets to you eventually. It's really changed going to events like a whole lot.
Yeah, I bet.
Having kids come up to me, ask for pictures, signatures, that kind of thing. I mean, these kids come up and talk to me, that kind of thing, and then I walked away and I heard him say, "Oh my God, we talked to the world champion," like that kind of thing. I mean, yeah, it's very nice, and of course I like it, but it definitely changes things, and I guess it puts a little bit more pressure on. Like, let's say I know I've lost like a top 8 match before at regionals, and then I can't really be salty or frustrated or upset at myself because I have to keep, a positive face and that kind of thing. And obviously adds a little bit of stress, but don't think I'd trade it. So
No, I wouldn't either. I imagine every time you play now, everyone's at their A game, right? I imagine it's similar to like, if anyone follows basketball, when the Golden State Warriors were by far the best team, every team was gunning for them. They wanted to destroy them. I bet when you sit down and put players now at like cups, challenge or whatever, everyone's like, right, I'm sitting across from the world champion. I want to make sure I slap him. Do you
Yeah,
find that's the case
absolutely.
here?
I think so. Yeah, I find it's a bit of both. Like it's that, but also people, I guess, get a little bit intimidated. And
Yeah.
I always say, if they say that or whatever, if they seem nervous, I always say like, look, I really don't think I'm the most intimidating person, so don't worry, mate. But other than that, I think it I honestly feel a little bit more pressure on me to perform, I guess.
Oh, true, yeah.
Kind of just really don't want to go down as a one-hit wonder kind of thing. So yeah, you always have a bit more pressure on you to really do well.
No, I love that. Hey, no, man, you're back-to-back champion. You know what I mean? Playing Binder Drop GX. So you know what I mean? So, what do you sort of do? So, you mentioned like you still studying now. Then, Henry, are you a student now?
No, so I took a break from studying with kind of like health issues,
Okay.
and just couldn't really commit the full time to studying. And it just for a while I had to stop studying a couple times, a couple years in a row, and I just kind of figured, all right, let's just wait for it to kind of blow over,
Yeah.
and it's not going to last forever. Eventually I'll kind of get better,
Mhm.
be a bit more physically healthy, and we can kind of go things. And tournaments are very difficult, don't get me wrong. I get pretty exhausted really easily, and that kind of thing. But I mean, they're really good. It just gives me something, I guess, to kind of do and leave the house, and gives you a little bit of sense of accomplishment. So it's great.
That's cool, man. Yeah, those regions are a slog, isn't they? I always when I try and describe to people what a region's like who don't play Pokemon, I'm like, right, take something you have to concentrate a lot for, right? I couldn't think of like playing chess, for example. Right, now play chess for 9 hours straight. Tell me how you feel afterwards. I'm exhausted, bro. Like, oh my lord. Yeah, man. They are a slog. They're a slog.
Yeah, I mean, well, this regionals wasn't really too much. I got to win 4 rounds and then ID twice, but most of them pretty exhausting.
Yeah, no, that's pretty crazy. I love that. I imagine. Oh, I wish I could do that. I guess it's the same for cups as well, though. So talk to us about music, Henry. Listen, you're like a music person.
Yeah, I played piano for a long time,
Oh, nice.
that kind of thing. So that was
Jeez.
one thing. But I guess I listen to a bunch of different music, that kind of thing. I guess in my spare time, I really like watching a lot of TV shows and stuff. But
Okay. What's your
that
what's
kind
your
of stuff.
go-to on TV? What were you? You a Game of Thrones guy?
Yeah, I've watched it all.
Yes, good lad. Love that. Love that. Love that. If you was
Yeah.
in Game of Thrones, what else would you be in?
Ooh. Well, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I reckon. I could see the North. I could see one of them.
You be the North, yeah? Okay, love
I
that.
reckon I could see that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. I'm definitely Lannisters, like, you know what I mean? I love them.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a bit of Tywin. Just get the job done. Don't matter how, just get it done. Oh my lord. So any other TV? Obviously that's finished now, to be fair, Game of Thrones. Anything
Yeah.
else you were lining up?
Looking forward to Castlevania, I think. I don't know if you've seen
Oh,
that.
snap, yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Forgot about
Might get around to that soon.
that.
Yeah,
Cool.
pretty good.
Cool. Right. So, I like to ask this question for a lot of my guests. So let's say, Henry, somehow you find yourself on death row now. You've been a naughty boy. I don't know what you've done. Maybe you had to steal a fly gun before an event because you didn't have one. And you got caught. So you're on death row. You got one meal left now, and they're nice geezers. You get to pick your meal. You get a starter, you get a main course, you get a drink of your choice. What are you picking? And a dessert as well, I should say, thinking about it.
Anyone of my friends will know this answer straight up. A Zinger Stacker Burger from KFC.
I love it. Man's like, that was great. So that's your main, I assume.
Absolutely done.
Okay, what's your starter?
Starter. I mean, if we're just trying to be nice to the security guards, could just get some chicken tenders from KFC too. Make less of a trip.
No, Henry, it's your last meal. You have to be nice.
Oh my god. Starter. Ooh. I reckon nachos. I could see nachos.
Okay. And what top you put on there? Just cheese, a bit of meat as well. What are we?
Cheese, salsa, sour
Salsa.
cream, guacamole, jalapenos,
Yeah, that's
all that stuff.
That's a good set of nachos there. What's your drink? What you're having all this?
Vanilla Coke.
Ooh. See, a lot of
Yep.
people don't have vanilla Coke. I always tell them vanilla Coke's
No.
nice. Do you get vanilla Coke all year round in Australia?
Yep.
Oh,
We
do
sure
you?
do.
Oh, wow. See, it's only like promo over here. We get it like, I don't know, I believe Coke promo. That's quite funny to say, but yeah, you only get it like occasionally. But no, I love it. Everyone's like, "What do you get that for?" I'm like, "You don't understand, guys. It's good." Okay, and then so what would your dessert be?
Cheesecake.
Yes, I love it. I was just thinking I'd be saying cheesecake like if this was me.
Yep.
What are you going though? Strawberry, toffee, New York.
New York, New
New
York.
York, yeah,
Okay.
New York is
Yeah, it's
gangster.
too good.
Yeah, no, it is a good shout. It's a good shout. That's good. I love that. So now we know what the world champion wants to eat for his last. I love the way in this scenario, like, oh, let's be nice to the security guys. Henry said, oh, don't worry about it, mate. I'll just get Uber Eats up. You can just, you know what I mean? That's funny, that. Oh, dear. Right, so, obviously being Australia, very, very far away.
Yeah.
Have you done a lot of traveling? I imagine because of your health reasons. Is there anywhere you particularly really want to go?
I really want to go to South America, see all the ruins,
Okay.
the temples, and all those things like Machu Picchu.
Yeah.
So that's definitely on the bucket list, so to say. So other than that, I've done a fair bit of traveling for Pokemon. Outside of that, went to Cyprus last year. That was an interesting time.
You in Cyprus? That's not too far. I never told me you snuck into Cyprus. How'd you find it there?
Yeah, it was fun. It was a nice trip. I liked all the really liked that kind of archaeology and ruins. So they had a ton of that there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really great time. Really hope to do some more traveling. And last year when I went for tournaments, I didn't really do too much other than just the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So fortunately, the ones this year have been cancelled mostly. But let's see. The next time I travel overseas, I'll try and make a bit more of a holiday out of it.
Nah, man, you should. That'd be great. I'd love that. Never really went to Cyprus. Did you ever let's go to sort of because Cyprus ain't too far from sort of like Greece, Rome, and all that stuff. Are you into that sort of history as well?
Absolutely, yeah. Unfortunately, just this one I went with my family, just to
Okay.
Cyprus. But next time, yeah, I'll probably do a bit more of a look around.
Yeah, because whilst you're over there, you know what I mean. Like you might as well hit up Venice as well. Venice not too far. I've been
Yeah.
there. Venice is sick, by the way. I've been there. I recommend you
I
go
can
there.
imagine. All right, we'll do.
That's pretty cool. But right, I think that's pretty much it then, Henry. Loved having you on as always, my friend. The floor is yours now. If you got any shout outs you'd like to do or anything like that, feel free.
Yeah, shout out Joao. Couldn't build all my decks without him, so yeah, shout out. I guess all the other people I test with, Stefan, Bert, all my friends, just that kind of thing. My Twitter, Ben Rebrand. I stream sometimes. Might try and do that a little bit more. And shout out to KFC for the Zinger Stacker Burger.
KFC, hit this man up. KFC, when have you had the chance to sponsor a world champion? Here we go. Do it now.
Yes, please.
Oh, here's one question I'm actually thinking about. Now I've just sort of almost wrapped the episode up, but I thought of something else. Your Twitter, is it intentional that it's Benry, hand, is it, or whatever? Because you flipped them around, right? The first letter?
No, I just replaced the H with a B. The last one
That
is
was
still
it, yeah.
B.
Okay.
It's like, you know how like the whole red B meme?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
kinda like,
yeah.
like the letter, it's just like that, yeah.
Okay, I was thinking, I was like, did you do that on purpose or like? But clearly you did. Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Are you not signed to a team or anything then, Henry?
No teams or anything, just flying solo.
That's madness. KFC signed this man. Limitless go sign this man. What's all this about? But I'd like to thank you so much for coming on, Henry. Love that. As first, always have a good laugh and a joke when you're here. I'm just bare gas to get you back on again. Love that. And we'll have to get you on
Thanks so
again
much,
soon,
man.
man, my guy. Get streaming because
sure.
I want to watch Henry Van stream. I want to see him live build these concoctions. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Awesome. And thank you all guys for watching as well. Love that. Wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you guys for listening to the Slowpoke well, and I'll see you all next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching that video, much appreciated, really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't hesitate to subscribe. I try and put out as much stuff here as I can, full deck profiles plus games, topic conversational pieces regarding anything in the TCG. Check out my Twitter, check out my Facebook, that's where I get most of the updates, sort of see what's going on behind the scenes, all that good stuff. Also check out the SoundCloud for the full bi-weekly podcast. If you're interested, if you like the conversational pieces, go check that out. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a good day.